live, Sheryl. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, fam. How are you? Hi, everybody. How you doing? Happy Thursday. Do you believe this is the last Thursday in the month of October? November is around the corner. Christmas is coming. Oh my God, Thanksgiving. Y'all, where has the time gone? Where has the time gone? So, I'm so excited today because I have an awesome guest in store for you. Her name is Samia Arram, and she's going to tell you so many wonderful things. But before I bring her on, I thought I'd just have a little chat with you. First of all, thank you, thank you, thank you for your continuous support of me and this amazing platform. I created this platform as a way for me to really highlight women of color and Black women. That platform didn't exist before, but with Sheryl Grant Fit Live, we wanted to make sure that we created that environment. I often would walk into webinars, seminars, and the like, and it would always sadden me to walk in and only see one of us in the room or one of us at the mic. And I wanted to just totally disrupt that and bring you these most amazing, powerful women from around the globe so you can get a glimpse that this talent and these resources are truly alive and well. You just need to know where to find them. And if you don't know, then come ask me and I'll be happy to share with you. I'm just going to check my Facebook page here 2 seconds just to make sure that we are officially up and live and running, and we are, because I could see me there. So let me situate this here. Now, before I introduce my guest, I just want to just give you a little bit about my background, who I am, why I do this, why I'm so excited about the work that I'm doing. I started my company actually in 2006, and we launched officially full-time in 2017. It was one of the most scariest things I've ever done and the most rewarding. But our goal here at SGI, Sheryl Grant International, is we're here to highlight both the journey and success stories of professionals and entrepreneurs of color. We want to explore all the important and necessary information to help guide, inspire, and encourage all aspiring business owners and professionals of color. We plan to equip them with specific concrete examples, tools, tips, and tricks to lead them toward their own success, not only in business, but in life. Our question here at SGI is, are you ready to get fit? FIT stands for faith, intuition, and tenacity. Faith is your ability to believe in the unseen. What you can't see with your physical eye, you can see with your spiritual eye. Intuition, learning how to trust yourself, and tenacity, going to get it done. So I hope you're ready to get fit. I just ask you a couple of things before we get started. They're real simple. One, grab a notepad. Take notes. This is supposed to be an opportunity for us to pour into you. Ask questions, engage with us so that you can get information and get grounded in areas that you want to learn more or better understand how you can just soar in whatever it is that you're doing. And last but not least, don't keep it to yourself. Tag a friend. The more the merrier. Without any further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, Samia!
Yay! I'm so excited. And if you can't be excited listening to you, Sheryl, there's no hope. I'm telling you. Congratulations.
Girl, thank you. Thank you. You guys, I am just so excited. I'm going to read this amazing woman's bio. But when you talk about entrepreneurship and you talk about stepping into spaces that you're not comfortable, and you talk about being a disruptor, if you talk about being a mother, if you talk about being all those things and more, then this lady right here, I don't know what you guys can see, this lady right here is the one. Samia is amazing, and you're going to learn everything you could possibly want to know about her on today. Well, a majority of the things that you want to know about her on today's call. And I'm going to start off and give you a little bit of a background because I think it's important for me to at least give you a little bit of background into this amazing queen. And I'm going to send a note out to all the people who are joining us online. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put my glasses on because I need to read her bio, okay, y'all? And I need to be able to see, and I can't see without them. So hold on just 2 seconds. So, as a 17-year-old Palestinian Israeli young student, Samia Arram embarked upon an unknown world with one-way ticket to the United States of America. She graduated cum laude in chemistry, biology, and math at the University of Nebraska while living with her uncle in Kearney, Nebraska. In 1990, Samia was accepted as the first international student to enter the nuclear medicine technology program at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. After graduating and working in the Midwest, Samia advanced to a marketing manager position at Philips Medical Systems in Northern California. This is where Samia met her husband and had her two beautiful daughters, Jasmine and Alexis. 10 years after joining Philips Medical Center, Samia decided to leave the comfort of the Bay Area and move with her girls to San Diego to pursue an advanced career path. She became a VP of Business Development at Midcap Healthcare Company and Digirad. After 6 years, Samia met Michael Keenan, who was an instrumental in her leaving corporate America to begin her entrepreneurship journey. From 2009 to 2015, as CEO and owner of MD Office Solutions, Samia helped triple her mobile services business and sold it back to Digirad with great profits. Between 2015 and 2020, Samia was retained as a salesperson at Digirad and maintained her position as leader in the nuclear medicine business in the Bay Area. During this time, Samia ventured into the cannabis industry and became the COO of PAC Labs Analytics, the first minority woman-owned cannabis testing lab. Although the business closed its doors in 2019, Samia is still convinced that this was the best growth and learning experience as she has ever encountered. Samia remains a serious investor and believer in the cannabis industry. In 2021, with her partners, Samia bought back MD Office Solutions. As a CEO, Samia is currently focused on growing and expanding the business to become a profitable, successful mobile business in all of Northern California. She currently spends lots of her time taking care of her elder father at her Union City home and spends her fun time in the company of her friends in Oakland, California. And I consider myself one of those friends. Welcome! Welcome!
Wow, she sounds good. I want to hire her. Isn't it amazing when you look back at your own journey? You're like, wow, did I really do that? I do have a couple of corrections. In my first journey with MD Office Solutions, I was the COO. Michael Keenan was the CEO with another partner of David Keenan.
Okay.
Now I am the CEO. Michael and David are still in the picture and brought on two more partners.
Well, thank you for that correction, Queen.
Yes.
You have done it all. You studied nuclear medicine. Can you talk, first of all, well, we're going to get into that. Before we do that, can I ask you, I ask all my guests, you're no exception to the rule. What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about reaching freedom while leaving a legacy and being a great example to my girls and making an impact in this community for all, especially people of color, women, people in socioeconomical distress. But I'm passionate about really making a difference and working in really what I enjoy.
Oh my God, you are absolutely amazing and you are making an impact. The first time I can remember meeting you at one of our favorite wineries, Rosenblum, we were hanging out and I was just so impressed by you being in this cannabis industry, you being a woman led business and just really making waves. Before we start there, I know we'll get there on your journey. Tell me, how did you get into nuclear medicine? And what the heck is nuclear medicine? Please.
Great questions. Well, I wanted to become a doctor. But as myself and many students coming seeking education in the United States, it's really difficult to enter uh, becoming a doctor and not spending a fortune. And so my uncle was very instrumental in introducing me to nuclear physics, nuclear medicine. And it just happened that on the day of, those career days in your college,
Right. Yes. Yes.
they had a nuclear medicine table. And so I felt it was a destiny. And it was a Mayo Clinic. And they explained to me that they've never had an international student. And they were really very excited about it, inviting me to be that first one. And that's how I got into nuclear medicine. But my passion has always been chemistry, math, biology, and now healthcare was my common sense next step.
Wow. Wow. Isn't it amazing how the universe aligns? And when you put your thoughts and your actions into play, that things start to naturally align. I talk a lot about in it, Samia, what I do on the Spit platform with faith, intuition, and tenacity. And people need to understand faith is a really huge thing. Your belief in you and what you want to do and what you're capable of doing is what opens the doorway to you actually achieving it in your life. And a lot of us don't pay a lot of attention, like writing it down, not only thinking about it, writing it down, speaking it into existence. Because look at you, like you got into nuclear, you wanted to get into nuclear medicine or nuclear science, and you did. And
Amazing, huh?
having an idea, and then you said magically it showed up, but was it magic?
Maybe my uncle sent them. No, but it's so true. The spoken truth, the spoken word, the faith in God or whomever you worship is a key in building a path and a map and a road that you could see and that you could follow. And I am a huge believer. I have my partners they believe, they have a strong faith. They carry me through that. They teach me. Absolutely. Faith is the key. And so I congratulate you on the acronyms you use. Faith, tenacity, and intuition, or faith, intuition, and tenacity are key in success. I completely agree.
Thank you, Samia, because it has definitely been my experience on my life's journey, not only through corporate America, which I've spent over 30 plus years, but even outside of that, when I went on my journey to become Miss Olympia at the age of 55, at the age of 55, I did that. But it was all about my belief system. But we're talking about you today, and I want to know as much as I can possibly about you to be an encouragement to somebody else out there, somebody who might be going through something, Samia, somebody who may not understand how the power of belief can take you on a journey to achieve your goal. You are such a role model. You have two amazing daughters. One of your daughters is a famous, famous, um,
This way.
famous songstress doing amazing work in the world. And I know I hear a lot about her. And your youngest, is that your youngest daughter or your oldest?
My oldest is a singer. She's an Oakland native. She graduated from Oakland School for the Arts, well known in the Oakland community, worked with 2020 Tone and other well known organizations. She's now making her way through her music career in LA. My baby is a baller. Although she can sing, she chose the other way. And so
Is she WNBA?
she is on a full ride scholarship at Pacific Union College, and she's studying nursing or possibly nuclear medicine as she's playing her ball. She has a road trip tomorrow, so wish her luck to win. But yes, I mean, what is it? What more do we want than really build a legacy first with our own kids and do what you say and say what you do, and your kids are watching every step you do.
I'm sorry, I gotta turn this down. Make sure it's not interfering my phone. So, okay, so Samia, you gotta share. So you went into nuclear medicine and science, and then that led you to
Well, I worked in the Midwest as you know, you come, well, you may not know, but when you come into the United States on H-1 visa, you're coming as a student and you have no clue what's going to happen. You come with your own culture, your own language, your own family, and all of a sudden you start assimilating and you start adapting, especially at 17. And all of a sudden, you love your family, you love your culture. That is home. But you also like love it here. You're growing here, you're changing here in your most precious years. And so I stayed in the Midwest until I got my ability to stay permanently in the United States. I love the Midwest. Great people, but the weather is brutal. And so at first chance possible, I quit my job and I started journey looking for a job, and voila, Phillips opened up. And 2 weeks later, I was right here in Milpitas, California. In the it used to be a Holiday Inn right there, is no longer, but that's how it happened. I came into Phillips at the best time. So I would say that it's not just what you do, is also the timing and the industry and the people around you, right? And so in the 90s, that's the boom as the Silicon Valley. That was the beginning of the hype. It was one of the best 10 years ever. We had such an amazing time. We still, as a team, and the company was called ADEC at the time, that was bought with Philips, we still talk to each other about that ADEC, where we felt like we were part of that company. We had an amazing time. So that was my journey in the corporate world, outside of the healthcare frontline services world.
Right. So I'd love to understand what, especially during the 90s, did diversity look like in the healthcare industry at that time?
Well, I pause because this is like an onion. There's so many layers to it, right? And so when you say diversity, it's cultural diversity, geographical diversity, religion diversity, whatever, all these things that make us who we are. So, but I do say that in the Midwest, there wasn't much diversity. The diverse people were the students. That's what I noticed. A lot of the students, as you could imagine, players in sports in the colleges, and so it was little bit, but it wasn't I mean, the number of diverse people were very little. I guess the percent of the diverse population in the Midwest different than California. What I learned, like in that geography, is that there is ignorance, not in a disrespectful way, ignorance of lack of exposure of what the rest of the world is. So it taught me how to understand, when people say something that hurts my feeling, that's really not what they're intending. They just don't know. When I would say I speak Arabic, oh, you speak aerobic? I was like, well, that's fit. Yeah, getting fit, but, and so, you start, okay, you shouldn't get upset at ignorance, or the right word is lack of knowledge, right? You come here to California and then it could be a little different. But in California, that's when I learned. I remember going out on my first Phillips meeting and there was 12 of us. And one of the gentlemen looked at the Caucasian young man. He goes, "How funny. You're the only Caucasian person in this circle." And that was in the 90s. And so it was amazing that's when I realized, well, wait a minute. Yes, California is where you look on every corner and there's a different culture and different tradition. And so depending on the geography, diversity and knowledge and all that varied in my world. And I started all over again with my life, new friends, new home, new everything, 5-6 times in my life.
Right.
So
for you, diversity, even in the Midwest, I would think, given the career and given the lane that you were in, which is, you're talking about nuclear science, that first of all, I would think that you would have probably little to none ethnicity within that, and definitely not gender female. That would be my mindset. And my mindset would be that would be the same thing in the US, maybe a little bit more variety because it's California. I mean, in the Bay, a little bit more, but you're in the healthcare industry, which is specifically given the technicality of the degree and the focus, that it would be a lot less
Yeah.
representation. Would that
Yes.
be correct?
Absolutely.
Say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, remember in healthcare, when we go into the nursing section versus the MD section, what you notice is you more nurses, female nurses, than there are more male doctors. Now, remember, we're talking early 90s here. I'm not giving my age away, but I'm going to be
It's
55
okay. I tell mine out.
but
I'm just
it's okay. I
Yeah,
love my age.
for me, I really have a thing about age. I have family members, don't tell my age. For me, I'm so blessed
Uh,
that no, it is what it is. I can't make it be any different. And my grandfather used to tell me, I always refer to my grandfather and my grandmother, who's behind me here in these pictures. That's my grandmother. But you either get old or die young. So,
that's right. No, I'm very proud of my age. At 55, I wouldn't repeat. I mean, there are little peckles on what they how I've become. But I want to share with you a story. It's funny.
yes,
So
please.
my
I'm
dad,
sorry.
my father. I'm Arabic, Palestinian, as you read, Israeli, and actually by watching African American culture, stating, "Hey, I'm African American," is where I got to be proud to say, "Well, I'm Palestinian Israeli." I'm Israeli, but I'm really Palestinian, so I'm going to adopt that too, which I still do. So in the 80s, when I came here and I went to college lived with my uncle, I'm probably one in 200,000 to 400,000 men coming United States. At that time, women leaving their country coming here was unknown, uncommon. My father had to get permission of my aunts and uncles for me to go live on my own to the Mayo Clinic. And he went against the tide and told them, no, she's going to live on her own. And they were like, no, that's not common. So my dad took trust in me, right? And so when I went up there, I've already have experienced diversity, or like a different kind of a treatment between being a woman, being a man in my own culture, right? Not bad, not right. It's just naturally that's how it was in the 80s. And so coming here and observing the diversity or lack of in certain cultures and certain schools, I recall I was the first international student at the Mayo Clinic to go through the nuclear medicine program. So that says right there, imagine, I mean, first international student, and at that time there were no Asians, no Asian, no Indian, no other cultures that I recall in that class.
Wow.
They were from, and so right there to me, I already knew I was gonna be, a minority. And then you go into the Midwest, you already know you're a minority in there. And so it became a way of life to me. It was almost like expected to be lack of diversity. So coming here was like, oh my God, you know what? I'm not one of the few. I'm actually the majority.
So I love that analogy, at least bringing it back to where you started and then having the Midwest experience. But I'd like to kind of shift gears, because one of the things I'm very clear on, Samia, is helping people to navigate their journey. And I know that being a woman, from my own experience, being a woman of color, being an African American woman, a Black woman in corporate America, that I was met with resistance, and structural resistance. And things weren't always where it was blatantly, well, actually, sometimes it was blatant. But my point is, there are a lot of women who are still struggling. There are a lot of women, when George Floyd passed, all of a sudden we had an awakening in the country that racism exists. Some still are fighting that, but those of color, we know it existed, and we've been dealing with it for over 300 years. And there's pain there. And I want to know if you can share with me, and it doesn't have to be related to race at all, but something in your journey to becoming an entrepreneur where you experience pain. I know you did a little bit telling about your story about within your own culture coming over, like that was unheard of, right? But even getting here, your experience as a woman being in a male dominated field, which I'm just, by the way, I just still so impressed with you. I mean, nuclear medicine, just the word nuclear alone has its own dynamics for me. And when you faced an obstacle, how you overcame it, because it's to me in the storytelling that we're able to empower others so that they can navigate through these waters, so that they can empower themselves, because we know it's not an easy journey, and we know it's not easy because I have spent many nights crying and depression and not really having anybody to talk to that I could share my feelings with, where I wouldn't be judged. I wouldn't be somehow, I was weakened, I wasn't strong, I wasn't a team player, I was making things up, or all of that. And I'd love to know, as a woman, if you can think of an example where you overcame and how you did it.
Yeah, well, not even from just the entrepreneurship level, but even from the cultural level. The tough times during 9/11, where I was called names, and my culture was called names in front of me, and I was called, forgive me, a sand N word. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh, what? But I don't look the part, right? So they didn't expect me to be like that. I didn't have the traditional dress, which people, so all of a sudden they're talking to me. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? That's me. That's my people calling those names. And so it was very hurtful during that time. It was very painful to me during that time. During my initial entrepreneurship days, I think the biggest thing for me was to take that risk, right? To actually get in there. It was terrifying. As a single mom with two infants, like a 4-year-old daughter well, maybe she was 6 and 4 or something like that. But the people around you, can help you determine if that is the right move into entrepreneurship or not. But it's terrifying. It's scary. I had to commute to the Bay Area Monday through Thursday, and so as a single mom. So therefore, my family helped out. So there was a lot of fear of failing, right? And it's unknown. But during my second startup entrepreneurship is where I realized I don't know enough. I should educate myself. I shouldn't wait for people to educate me. And my venture did not succeed, and I think it could have succeeded had I known better. Us women, we have to sit at the table and make decisions. We should not just be employees. We should not just be owners. I thought I have arrived being an owner, a COO. I had the title, I had the percentage equity, I had everything, but I wasn't on the board. Had I been on the board, that business would have still thrived. And so I've learned that business alone, that failing that cannabis business was the number one eye-opening for me of what I have done wrong and what I have to learn and how I have to do better and how I have to sit at the table and be an example to my women. Shake it off. But Sheryl, I was down probably in bed crying for months. My God, I have failed 3 years of my life, few $100,000. But now looking back, I think going back to faith, I think God positioned me, or my spiritual God positioned me for that next win. Now you know better.
Yeah.
Now you know what you got to do. So now the onus is on you. Now get it right this time. I'll open the door for you. And those are the lessons. I kept the faith. I kept the faith. You do good, you get 10 good things back in return. I'm a believer of that. Don't expect it, but it will happen. It could be in any way. It could be health in the family. But there are so many nights I've cried. And, had I not been a woman, probably with the cannabis business, I wouldn't easily have gotten a board seat. But because I was a woman, I was denied that, even though I was promised. So those little things across the time working at Digirad, I can name many things where I felt like, ha, had I looked differently, maybe I would have had a better opportunity. So, but it makes you stronger, right? I mean, it makes you act differently. It's almost like, okay, well, let me work harder. So we do work harder. And there's nothing that stops us from achieving getting to that board seat because, girlfriend, I'm there now.
Ah, did you hear that? So, failure, I hope I spelled that right. Failure is a blessing in disguise, is basically what you're saying.
Failure, you can take it as that because that's the only way to take it.
Wow, 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 wow. I think there were some major gems in there. If you're just joining us, or whether if you watch this later, I just really want to ask, join the conversation. It just makes it so much richer. And ask questions. Samia made time for us today. She made time for us so that you can learn from her lessons, so that you can grow and expand and be better. But the only way we can engage in this, I can ask her so many questions, but you might have something to ask her that I haven't. So engage with us. We want you to. This is not meant to be a monologue. It's meant to be a dialogue. So do join.
Ask me questions. No.
So, yeah, I love Samia. I love what you just shared anecdotally too about being a part of the having a percentage in the company and really feeling you got part ownership and you have the title and but you didn't have a seat of the board, and the seat of the board would have given you the vote, and the vote to be able to say if the company would continue on or even give advice on how to elevate the company further. And I'm a firm believer that, moving forward, one of the things you just shed a light for me is in creating my own company, I am creating my own seat at my own table. So I love that. But I also have invited those with other voices that can help me see where I can't see, because we don't know all things. It's not all knowing. And that's why diversity is so powerful. I think that people often, Samia, think of it as, oh, I just need to hire Black people. And that's not diversity, or I Hispanic or Asian or whatever the number is. And it's really about a human factor and human beings and developing the right people with the right skill set, so that in helping to develop them and creating succession planning so that they can move up to those particular roles, that you give other people opportunities that look like you, give those that do not look like you. But you are a woman, honey, that lands on your feet every time.
Oh, is there any other way?
No, actually, thank you for saying that. No,
I'll tell you, when I sold my company the first time, my whole mission was the legacy, the story, because we all live a certain way in life, is to invest in a people of color company. And I wanted to get into cannabis, and I wanted to invest in a person of color, because there's so many other investors that come through others, not that no other opportunities deserve it, but I invested not the money, just also the time. I did do other investments as well. But I'll tell you this, I failed to look at the person. I only looked at this blind mission. And so I'm going to write a book. And I think I told you this. I'll keep telling me this. Michael says, yeah, right, Samia. But the title of the book is The PEAR Method to Wholesome Success. I know the cover of the book. It has a pear tree with the white flowers. I have the intro chapter already recorded. When I'm going to do it, I don't know. But PEAR was an acronym that I developed 7 or 8 years ago. But the funny thing is, it didn't hit home run until recently. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't practice what I preached. Wow. PEAR stands for the people you surround yourselves with. P for people. The expertise that you account yourself with, you equip yourself with. That's the E. The A is the attitude you take life and the attitude you do with your life. And the R is the risk you take in life. It's the people, the experience and expertise you get to your life, the attitude and the risk you take in your life. If you do, and that's all throughout your life, not just your business career, it's your life, it's your marriage, it's your friendship. If you take the PEAR approach to wholesome success seriously and really look very carefully in the people that surround you, the expertise you build yourself with, the attitude, the risk you take,
Yes.
you're going to succeed.
Yes.
With the 10,000-hour rule, which is how John Lennon made it. So you spend 10,000 hours on your craft, you'll become a master at it.
Well, ooh, I've been clocking some hours. I need to check what. Like, I like it.
That's right. You got to have a story. You got to have a way of life that you follow. That and you got to equip yourselves with how you believe and keep reminding yourself. And that's the way to land on your feet all the time.
Right. And I love the fact that you said, and this is honesty, and this is why this platform is so great, because I bring in varying perspectives too. And I love it, from whether it be Black women or women of color. And there's so many different perspectives, even within the Black community, there's just different perspectives. But you said that you invested in a company and you wanted to invest in a company of color. And what your lesson was in that you didn't practice, was the PEAR approach, which is people. Who is the person that you're aligning yourself? And what I interpreted what you said was, do their values align with yours? Are the people that you're looking at or aligning yourself with, are they also role models to you? Are they giving you energy? Are there people that keep their word? Are there people with integrity? Are they people with are the people that you surround yourself with? And this sounds to me like, even in life and in business, expertise. All expertise doesn't come from, there's expertise that actually comes from, you have your degree, but I am an ongoing learner. I'm forever learning. Learning never stops for me. Every time I talk to somebody, I'm learning something too. So your expertise comes. How much time do you spend on educating yourself? Right now, school's a beautiful thing in theory, but you can Google just about any subject you want. There's literally no reason for you not to understand your particular craft or gift if you're not developing the expertise, if you're not taking the time to go and build yourself for yourself. And then your attitude. Oh my God, you hit me with that one. You can see I'm feeling everything you just said.
Right?
Attitude is everything. Your attitude determines your altitude. So what is your attitude? Nobody owes you anything. I'm going to repeat that one real slow. No one owes you anything, but you owe yourself everything.
Absolutely.
And how you interface with others and how you treat others is just as important as the work that you do.
That's right.
Risk. Where there's no risk, there's no reward.
That's right.
There's no reward. Living in the land of comfort or fear will keep you boxed in. Sometimes we have to be willing to take a leap. And I'm going to apply this to anybody out there that's listening. And you're in a toxic job that's not feeding you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. And I've had a job like that. Or Samia, every day that I went to work, I felt sick. I cried when I got there. I cried at lunch. And I cried when I left. I felt tortured. And in that same job, I'm just going to say, in that same job, I know people who have excelled doing that same work. I know people who have gone to do great. But for me, it was a very toxic environment. And you have to be willing to take a risk and go somewhere else. You have to focus on yourself. Anything you want to add to that, Samia?
Say that again.
Anything you want to add to anything I just
I have a secret chapter to the book.
Okay.
and it's a cloud. Timing. Sometime you might do the right thing with the right people and take the right risk, but your time is not there. There is this unknown factor of time and energy. So don't give up. So if you say, Samia, you lied to me. You told me if I do the PEAR method, I'm gonna succeed. And I tell you that sometimes it's timing is everything. Have you matured? I look at myself, me at 55 and me at 25.
Right.
Totally two different people.
Ooh, girl.
Right? I look at that girl and I say, oh, sister. Right? And so timing is that secret element that you have to keep in mind. If you exercise that PEAR approach to wholesome success and it didn't work, try again.
I do.
You're a different person now. Try again. Don't give up. Because I've tried and tried and tried, and I never give up. So I say that's my secret. So when you say, and you're absolutely right, no one owes you anything except yourself. You owe it to yourself to succeed. And if you have kids or friends or family and that you want to show them and teach them and mentor them, then you mentor them. I got two young ladies that I want them to be free. I want them to be no slaves to this. My girls are African American, Palestinian, Israelis. They have dual passports.
Double whammy, double whammy.
The African American, Palestinian, Israelis, they speak Arabic, but they look black and they're proud of being black and they're proud of being Palestinians. And my oldest went down and she did her DNA and found her Ghanaian roots and European roots. And she's just the proudest she can be. But she's only proud because I'm proud and I teach her how to be proud, right? And I also teach her not to be a slave to the dollar, to learn to be free. You learn to be free, the dollar must come to be free. Therefore, you learning to be wealthy. I am very strong on being an example, a good example to especially women. Everybody deserves the right, for you to be good and with integrity to them. But to women, I'm biased because I'm a woman. So I like to make a difference with the women. And so to me, I mentor women a lot, women of all ages. I have my best friends that come to me for advice, and I'm not ashamed to tell them, hey, I may not be an expert in this, but here's my opinion. Here's what you should do. And they come to me with an advice from many, many ages. In my company, I made sure I hired a very diverse staff. I have every culture in my staff. I have different cultures in my management team. I have women, I have men, but it's our job. It's Sheryl, your job as you're bringing me on to support us women of color successful, to show others that there's so many of us out there. And it's my job is to show other women, you can do this. Look, I fell flat on my feet. I slept one day asking myself, and this is not a lie, on a Thursday, and I remember this, I slept asking myself, God, what am I going to do now? And on a Friday morning, the next day, I had the opportunity to buy back my business overnight. So if you have faith and you have the expertise, it's going to happen. Just believe, don't give up. And once you equip yourself with the right tools and you are a good person, it's going to happen.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, now you have to tell them about what you do now. What do you
What I do? So I do so many things, right? I again, still an investor in the cannabis industry, hoping for that to continue.
It's timing, but it's good.
Timing. It's going to happen, right? I'm also the CEO and co-founder with Michael and David and co-owner with Christian and Monier of MD Office Solutions. We do nuclear medicine mobile imaging, meaning we go to really a niche market, people that either can't afford to start up their nuclear medicine services. It takes $500,000 to get the equipment, to hire the people. get the license and knowledge. It takes time and effort and energy. Also, suburbias, Las Banos, Selma, all these locations that not close to the city, they struggle. Patients drive hours and hours. So we go there and we offer services to patients anytime and anywhere. And we specialize in nuclear cardiology. So we take pictures of patients such as my father, my mother, whom happen to be my patients as well, my clients' patients. And as you hear my father right there. And we go out there in the clinics, we do the imaging, and we return with our equipment. Our staff were compliant. We follow regulations, we follow accreditation, but we offer that nuclear cardiac imaging in the office to clients, cardiologists, group of internal medicine docs that can't otherwise get it and reach it. And so we extend the ability to brand yourself as a clinic, to achieve another level of wealth, which is we're all trying to do, and to offer services to patients that otherwise they could not be offered in their area. So I'm the CEO and president, and I have 4 other amazing partners. So like I said, lesson learned, I surrounded myself with people that I adore, I love, we're like, I remember the guy, the Matt Mulchin, the CEO of Digerad, who sold me my business back. He said at one point, if I can only have 5 of you in different states, it would have been amazing. And so my whole passion for the next few years is to lead by example, to help my team. I have a staff of 20 people to help them succeed and empower them to live, to come to work and feel safe at work, to enjoy their job, to feel respected with integrity, to get paid what they deserve to be paid. And also at the same time for my management team to achieve what they are here to achieve, and for my family, for my girls. And so to me, it's all about growth, leaving a legacy, living your life, enjoying it. I'll tell you this, Sheryl, every day you wake up, and I know you do the same.
Yes.
You spend 50% of your time working hard, but there's that 50% of the time you're having fun at it. Don't wait till you retire to have fun. You work and you have fun simultaneously, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So I also, my freedom and the blessing is that I'm having an amazing time at it.
Well, you're absolutely right. I love what I do. I know I'm walking in my life's purpose. This gives me life. Every time I come on Fit Life, any of the work that I do on my platform, there's not one aspect of what I do. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing for me, Samia, is I love it so much that I mix my days, and I have to make myself take a break because I love it. I really do. Cultivating, it's building, and it's starting something that doesn't exist, and you have to recreate it from a whole different perspective. Entrepreneur, I spent 30 years in corporate America. It's very different getting a W-2 than it is working for yourself. It's just a very different experience, a very different energy. But going back to that, I want to say energy, because if I woke up every day, and this is something she said earlier, yeah, the PEAR methodology works. And she said, PEAR is people, expertise, attitude, and risk. Your attitude is everything. If you're complaining most of the time, if every morning you wake up, I try to not complain. I just learned something. I talk, this is the honest to goodness truth. Today, my daughter, Dominique Berry, also known as Michelle B, she does my makeup, and she's phenomenal of it. At it, if you ever need a makeup artist, she is the person. But she was sharing a story about a friend of hers, and I don't really want to go into detail, but what she was going through in terms of her health, what she was going through in terms of being a single mother, what she was going through in terms of really trying to find herself. I think about it and say, what am I complaining about? Yes, it is a struggle. Yes, things are not perfect. Yes, I wish I could tell you that I had $20 million in the bank. I don't. But I do it because I believe in what I'm doing, and I refuse to allow fear to stop me. I refuse to allow the constraints of this world to stop me from what I'm doing. And your attitude is everything. I want to say, check your attitude. I'm not preaching to you, I'm teaching to you. If you trust and believe in what we're saying, I'm not just saying it. Samia said it. If you listen to any of my recordings and you go on to YouTube, everybody says similar things. It's what you believe and how you feel. And energetically, if you believe it in your mind and you speak it with your mouth, you believe it in your mind, you speak it with your mouth, but in your spirit, you're sad. And you wake up every day and you don't really believe it. That's the faith. That's
Right,
the faith. That's
right
the
there. Good job. You're right on. Now, you touched on something that we haven't talked about,
uh-oh. What did I say? What did I say?
about the health and really fit. You know, as we look at that word as a word, you have to treat your body and your mind and your soul as that place where attitude comes out of. So being fit, being healthy drives that attitude to be happier, right? And so fitness, however that sounds or feels to you, every one of us, my fitness, my working out. And I have to say, you know, again, the people you meet are the ones that teach you and open the door. Remember Michael Keenan? We would travel up here. We would go to work out every day. And I didn't work out every day. And it became a way of life, right? And to me, it like transformed me. It made it feel like, okay, you know what? It's part of my life. It's not just working out. Being fit makes my attitude the way it is. And that's what I learned and I took and from Michael and David and Monir and Christian, all of them. But being fit physically is a lot of being fit mentally. So your attitude, your health, your energy, all that matters. And so that's part of my book too. So, hey, you know what? When I do release that book, we're going to have to replay this.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, my whole platform is about being fit and how I really got here. I practiced being fit all of my life, but how I got here was through my journey of becoming Miss Olympia. And a part of that had to do with discipline. I had to relinquish most of my friends because I couldn't go out and do the things before because I had to remain disciplined. I'd work out day and night. And I'm not saying anybody ever has to do it to that level, but I can definitely tell you it transformed my mind in ways I never thought imaginable about who I am as a human being and what I'm capable of doing. And it really opened up a door for me. Like I truly became another woman. Like whoever I was before I left her, and this new woman emerged. And a part of it was scary because you have to go on stage and you're showing your body. And I'm 55, sweetie. I'm not 22. And I'm doing it at 55. And then to go on to win Miss Olympia, being fit to me is your number one priority. You can't get mentally fit without being physically fit. And your health is your wealth, period. Your health equals your wealth. And I tell everybody, don't rise to where I am. Start somewhere walking. My best friend, she will tell you her name is Brenda Moppins. Brenda walks. Brenda loves to walk. I walk too, but Brenda loves to walk and she looks amazing. She's been doing this girl walk it off and they've been killing it and she looks amazing. She not only looks amazing, her energy is different. Her conversation is different. Her walk is different. So you, whoever is listening to this now or later, taking care of yourself is your number one priority.
That's right. Hallelujah, sister. And boy, Miss Olympia at 55, maybe that should be my next venture.
Okay,
I don't think so.
I started and I might as well announce it here and you can join me and you can join me on Monday. If you're interested, all you need to do is inbox me and let me know or go to my website and you can sign up and I'll put it in the chat box You can sign up to join on my fitness journey. I'm getting ready to do it again. I officially announced
Okay.
today. It's literally 5 years to the date since I entered that fitness competition. And you guys, I'm doing it again.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Maybe, hopefully, I'll be able to join in.
It's a journey. And I did it once, and then you have all these things that, and can I do it again? Oh my God, the discipline, the discipline. No, my biggest thing, and we're not going to go down that path, it's just I love a good glass of wine. I love the things that I love. And some of those journey requires that you let that part of it go because there's sugar in wine. And I don't want to be a spoiler here, but because you're fit, that's my fitness goal. You being fit, you don't have to do that. So I want to be real clear about that. That's what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
me,
Mhm.
I encourage you to go on this journey with me. I'm inviting
Hey,
you.
I might do that. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I raised my hand. I saw when I saw you with the handsome, successful young men, your boys.
I
I
love my sons. I love my sons. I do.
it was so it lost you for a second. It was amazing seeing your energy and how you influenced them and how like it was just so beautiful. I mean, I'm at awe of your physique, of your energy. I have to say, it's amazing. It does change the attitude. Now, I'll tell you one thing that I think you asked me a question earlier. Is like, how do you deal with some of the challenges and the pain? Comedy for me. I'm not comic. I think I am. My friends, especially Sue Taylor, tells me stick to your day job. But I take a lot of stressful situations and I turned it into an easy going, funny approach and maybe try to teach a lesson through that. But to me, laughter is a huge part of my attitude as well. I use laughter as a way to deal with certain stresses and challenges. And of course, you don't want to be in the middle of a conversation and break out laughing, but I use it. It's a great way to heal myself, and listen to comics. And so laughter, fitness, all those attitudes. So going back to your daughter's friend, I'd say, girl, it's going to be okay. Just get there and it's going to be just fine. We all been through it. It's not the end, but it's just the beginning.
Yes, and so I agree with you. It is just the beginning, and laughter is the key. And I will say that having a company with my sons keeps me on laughter. They keep it light. They are so supportive of me. I am so honored and blessed. They're both bright, intelligent. They're right beside me. My brand, when you look at my brand, that's them and they are the future. And it gives me great pride, like you with your children, to be able to work with them. So, one of the things I love about what I do is because I get to learn so much and I get to talk to some of
Right?
the women. And Samia, you are no exception to that rule. You are
Ditto.
amazing. You
Takes one to know one. It takes one to know
you
one.
know, I don't think I've ever met a stranger, but you and I connected day one.
We did.
It's
We
like
did.
that was just that was it. And I know sometimes it takes time because I've been trying to get you on here for a long time. And I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Anytime, anytime. I thank you for having me here. I also thank you and congratulating you for creating this media and your sons. I thank you for reaching out to women and other, people of color in general as well, because we always can listen from this. This is not woman specific, but we need more attention. A lot of with all due respect, young men, you have all the attention you get. We need to feed us. We need to show our young women that we are presidents, we are vice presidents, we are queens, we are all that. So I thank you for taking that step and contributing to that story. Thank you for
Woo!
that.
Girl, you after my own heart. I'm sitting over here. I have to ask you the question. How can we support you?
Well, uh, I think supporting me can come in many different ways. One is, if you know any doctors that want nuclear medicine, hey, I'm here. www.m.ca.
Woman-owned business, minority woman-owned business.
That's right. That's right. The other thing is, my daughter Yasmina. I also manage her. I didn't even talk about that. I manage her music. I am her manager, business manager, and check her out. Yasmeena.me, YASMEENA.me is her website. She's in
YASMEENA.me.
YASMEENA.me. She just released an album. Check it out on Spotify. Ego is the name of the album, pink background. Just an amazing young lady. And, pray for my other daughter to win all her basketball games. I'm so proud of her too. It's YASMEENA.me. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, supporting me, being there, supporting me, listening, supporting me, having me on this. I want to be on more boards. I want to be an example to young women. I'm here to help as much as possible and help our community.
Wait a minute. We have to get
It's okay. So see, there you go. You gave me extra time to spell it. It's YASMEENA. Story, true story is Yasmina is an Arabic name. It means jasmine, which was, there you go, which was my daughter's name. And she sang an Arabic song at the Fox Theater when she was at OSA. And it was an amazing song. And she identified with her Arabic version of her name. And my daughter at ninth grade decided to be called Yasmina. I did not know for 6 months until I walked in the school looking for her. And they're, don't call her Jasmine. It's Yasmina, So there you go. A young lady in ninth grade changing her name. And so we all got that strength within us to do the things. And so supporting me is supporting the community, the women community, and let's all together, help each other, I say. Well, and support me by going to Cheryl's on Monday, and also support her and her platform right here, who was built by your boys, right?
Yes, it was.
It's an amazing platform. You're competing with Zoom. You built this, right?
No. This is not the actual streaming. That we use StreamYard for that.
Okay.
And when I'm talking about the branding, the color.
The branding, the platform, the color, everything is amazing.
Our website.
There you go. What's your website?
And matter of fact, I'm going to introduce them. But before I go off to that, I want to ask you a question, but I don't want you to answer because I'm going to tell them about my platform. But I want you to be thinking about this. If you can give one piece of advice to my audience, what would that be? That's my question, but don't answer that. And I want to say to everybody, thank you for supporting me on this platform. I am on a journey. My goal is to reach 50 million women, and I can't do that alone. I need you. And how does that look? You can support me in many different ways. If you want to make a financial contribution, I can always use that. No donation is too small. You can go to my website, SherylGrant.com, and make that donation. The other way that you can help me is support me on this journey to fitness. I'm getting ready to start. I've already started, and it's going to be a year training. It's going to take me a while to get my body back to that state, and it really does. It's a journey. But if you have weight goals or dreams that you want to achieve, then join me on the journey. All you need to do is tag me at my website. And it's Cheryl's Journey to 60, which will be my 60th birthday. And join me.
You look amazing.
Join me. And the more the merrier, because I can support you and you can support me. And your goal doesn't have to be doing what I'm doing, and their home workouts. Everything is videotaped. Everything, your meal prep, everything is all there. It's going to be an amazing journey. We're going to have an orientation on Monday, and I really invite you to be a part of that. I'm happy to be teaming up with Damn Sport. That's where I started my journey. And I'm working with Andre Almond. So I want to thank you, Andre, for your willingness to support me on this journey and really come to the collaboration to really, really get behind me, because I had lost a lot of faith and hope. And I've been trying everything that I possibly can to get back there. And it's just been a challenge. So I'm really excited about that. The
The
other thing,
people.
yes, thank you, the people. And more people, the more you join, the more energy that's going to give me to see you there fighting for your goals, whatever you set for you. Mine is going to be to compete again, but yours doesn't have to be. It can be lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever it is, but just to get fit. So please do join me in this challenge. And then you can always support me by liking my page. Go on to Instagram and go on to my YouTube and like my page. That's another way to support me. And I want to say that I can't do this alone. There's no I in the word team. I have an entire staff. First of all, I have these amazing millennials that support me through my Fit for the Future program. I want to thank Jazz. I want to thank Ebony. I want to thank Zai. When you see my newsletters, that's Zai. My curriculum is Jazz and Ebony. I also work with Andress, and we're supporting them, and they're starting their company because I believe in supporting our youth. And Ebony and Andreas has a product called Black and Olive, which is a gift box company, and we support them. And I also have my son's Dejan, who does all my sales and programming. He helped to build my curriculum, which is FIT program, and my C4 Matrix program. I want to thank John Tay, who does all my branding. I couldn't do it without any one of you. And I want to thank Joelle Amorosa, who's a newest addition to our team. She aspires to be a producer. She's now in LA. She just moved here from DC. She's doing her thing. I have these amazing women around me. And to all those who I've mentored before, you are a part, and you have poured into Shayla, both Shaylas. The list goes on, too many for me to even begin to name, but please do support the program. I want to also let you know that we are planning to expand to Africa, and we have some projects going on. And for those of you who know people who want to help support us, they can do that through donations for the project. And you can call me or DM me to find out more information. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to reach that 50 million. It takes a village, but I know with mine, I can do it. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to do that. And next week, join us. I'm going to have an amazing woman by the name of Kim. And Kim Bliss is one of the most amazing women that I know, just like Samia and every woman that I have on here. She is a partner in PwC. She is a community. Her husband, John Bliss, who sits on my board for the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. She's going to be on here sharing her story, programs that she's bringing to Oakland. And I want you to be able to hear it firsthand. Speaking of the chamber, I want to thank the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. I received the Chairman of the Year award, and I'm also a lead for creating the Transformation Project, which we are looking to transform businesses in Oakland. And I'm going to be reaching out to each and every one of you, because our goal is to pour into you too. My president, Kathy Adams, is doing a phenomenal job in making sure you guys are abreast on so many different things that I can't name her list. And I want to add to what she's doing through our transformation committee. So I really do encourage you, if you're not a member of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, please do consider it. It is a wealth of resources, especially if you are an entrepreneur. And we got some great things in store for you for 2022. So you need to be a part of this organization. So with that said, Samia.
That's so amazing. That is just wonderful. I know Kathy Adams real well. There's a lot of accomplished women, especially in Oakland. I've gotten to know the community very well, just spending a lot of time there. Just amazing. And Aisha Brown, lot
That's my
girl. Right. Winnie, and it's just, there's so many. Lori Cox, she's in the social.
Yes, Lori is my girl too.
Lori. So
we work in the same circle, girl.
Right? And so there's so many successful women. Just, I would say, my advice to every woman out there, just go out there. Just give it your best. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it. Don't be afraid to be hurt. It's just yet another. I always told my girls, anytime a door closes, that's one less door to close. So you're closer on that door that will open. Go out there, give it your best, have fun at it. Don't wait on having fun, but know when to have fun and how. Be wise, be fit, and be safe, and exercise the wholesome success story with the PEAR method.
I love it. Oh my God. And I want to thank Bhavani who asked the question, said this was great. Bhavani, I love you. I miss you from the bottom of my heart. She introduced me to meditation. I don't know how long ago. And actually doing it at the ashram. Like we go and sit down and go through the whole process. So I want to thank you for being a mentor and a role model in my life. I love you, Auntie Bhavani. Bhavani, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Samia, it's time, but I love you. I love you. I appreciate you. I
Thank you for having me. What an amazing story. I can't wait to hear I'm going to go back into your
YouTube.
On YouTube, and I'm going to listen to all the other women that you've had. I'm always learning. You never arrive. You're always learning. And so I thank you for this venue. It's really amazing.
Thank you. And for those of you who are not familiar, all you have to do is go to YouTube. I haven't uploaded them all, but we have over 350 plus catalog thus far. And they're all amazing women doing great things. So please do check it out.
Like that page on YouTube, right?
Huh?
They have to like that page on YouTube or follow.
Yes.
Follow, subscribe Sheryl Grant's YouTube page.
I'm trying to get to 10,000. Help me get to 10,000.
Subscribe.
9,600 and something.
There
So
you go.
all help is appreciated. Please do.
It takes a village. It takes every single one of us to help you. It's a responsibility. All right?
Yes. Thank you, Samia. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't hang up. I want you to hang on. Don't.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody. God bless. We appreciate you. Take care.
Bye.